We're back in Horizon Forbidden West, and in the last video we went over the top 10 best weapons, which were all of the legendary weapon locations, but now we're going to go over the best armor sets and outfits in the game, which will be all of the legendary armor sets along with an additional set which is one of my favorite looking armors. There aren't as many legendary armor sets as there are legendary weapons, so it should be a little faster, and they're also not as hard to acquire. Although two of these sets I'd technically call the best two armor sets in the game, it's definitely beneficial to acquire all of them and equip them in different situations, since they all benefit different playstyles and skills as well as have different resistances and buffs. If you guys have any additional armor you think should have been mentioned, or any extra tips, leave them down in the comments. We're going to start off with the Tanact Tactician legendary armor, because although it's the best armor for anyone interested in the Machine Master skill set, I personally don't care much for how it looks, plus the Machine Master skills were the last ones I put any points into. But it's still a great legendary armor, and you can acquire it from the Stitcher in Thornmarsh, and can be purchased for 2,000 metal shards, a Thunderjaw Circulator, and 1 Apex Slitherfang heart. You can hunt for the Apex Slitherfang at this location here, and if the Slitherfang isn't an Apex, you can just fast travel away from here and come back. I didn't have to do that at all because the first time I came here he was an Apex, but if that's the case for you, just fast travel. The Tactician armor again gives bonuses that partner with the Machine Master skills, which allows machines to stay overridden longer. Those machines deal more damage, have more health, and move around quietly. And whenever you decide to upgrade this armor, you'll also do more damage and take less damage while mounted. Even if you're not big on the Machine Master skills, it's not a bad idea to just throw this armor on whenever you're riding an overridden machine. The Tanact Vanquisher armor relies on the Survivor skill tree, basically allowing you to cling to life longer and provides more of a tank build. You basically deal more and take less damage when at low health, as well as regenerate Valor faster. You can also roll more before stumbling, which I honestly didn't even know was a thing. You get the legendary Vanquisher armor set from the Maw of the Arena prize collector, located at the little coin icon just outside of the arena gates. You'll need 54 arena medals, which you can acquire by doing some of the arena challenges, and if you complete every arena level, you should have around 500 arena medals, allowing you to purchase all of the armor and legendary weapons here pretty easily. You cannot compete in the arena though until after you complete the story mission called Karut. Then you can head here and talk to Kala at the front gate, who will give you a quest called Unlocking the Arena. Although this is another armor set I don't really care for, and stats wise I don't really see much point in using it, it is one of the best looking armor sets you can get. Speaking of good looking armor sets, this next one isn't a legendary outfit, and it's honestly not even that great, but I'm including it as a bonus because of how awesome it looks. It's the only armor that's almost completely black from what I've seen, and it makes you look like a straight up ninja. You can get the Karja Shadow armor from the Stitcher over at the Maw of the Arena, the same arena where we obtained the other legendary armor sets, except this time we're not talking to the prize master, and we're going to get it from that Stitcher. Although you would think this armor set would be centered around stealth, it's actually more of a tank set of armor centered around health as well, making it harder to die by giving bonuses to the amount of berries you can carry as well as healing you faster and better. The Utaru Winterweave armor is a legendary set specialized around a group of stealth skills known as the Infiltrator skill set, and it uses those skills by reducing the amount of noise that Aloy makes while moving, the sound that your melee weapon attacks make, and makes you harder to be seen by enemies and allows you to carry more smoke bombs. Once you upgrade this Winterweave armor, you'll also have additional Silent Strike damage, and upon using Silent Strike you'll heal a bit of extra health. The stats and resistances on the armor itself may not be as great as some of the other legendary armors, but in comparison to the rest of the armors below legendary, it still hangs around pretty nicely with 35 melee and 35 ranged, and then an additional 50 to plasma, without even being upgraded, and it is by far the best stealth armor in Forbidden West. To get the Utaru Winterweave armor, you just need to head over to the Thornmarsh and purchase it from the Stitcher, just as we did with the Tactician armor. This time you'll need an Apex Dreadwing heart, which you can get at this location here. The Dreadwing isn't marked here on the map, but he's for sure here south of the Slaughterspine location. It's also west of the Maw of the Arena. You should see a Stormbird in that same location. Scan the Dreadwing, and if it's a regular Dreadwing and not an Apex, you'll just have to fast travel back to the nearby camp and travel here again. The Karja Stalker Elite is probably my favorite outfit in Horizon Forbidden West, simply because of how good it looks. I don't think there's another set of armor that comes even close. It does go with the Trapper skill tree as well, which isn't a half bad group of skills to unlock, especially if you're into setting traps as well as using the Tripcaster and Ropecaster, because the Karja Stalker Elite increases the amount of traps Aloy can place down at the same time and lets her place those traps down even faster. You can also carry more smoke bombs, which is kind of boring, and craft basically everything craftable much faster. contractor. She also gets a couple of stealth perks upon upgrading this armor, which reduces her visibility with the low profile skill and decreases the amount of noise that she makes while moving, allowing you to get around and place traps easier. You can acquire the Karja Stalker Elite outfit by heading over to the Maw of the Arena and purchasing it for 54 more arena medals, which again, you get these pretty easily by completing the arena challenges, and if you're struggling, just turn the difficulty down a tad and you should be good. The Oseram Artificer, although not the best looking armor set in Forbidden West, probably has the best overall stats, or at least it's tied with our final armor set. It's obtained by completing a series of salvage quests, the main quest being Karuf's Salvage Unlimited, where you are given the objective to go out and find all of these salvager locations. You can start it by heading to the salvage contractor here towards the starting point of the map, called Barren Light. He will task you with finding 4 different small quests with different objectives, and once you complete them, he won't really inform you on where the other 3 salvage contractors are, so you'll have to look for them or just head over here to our second salvage location called the Greenswell, just northeast of the Scalding Spear and northwest of our last location. The contractor there will give you 4 more contracts to complete upon talking to her, and all the contracts can be seen on the Salvage Contracts tab. You'll have one up top displaying your overall objectives of finding all of these guys, and then the contracts underneath are the ones that each contractor gave you. The third salvage contractor can be found down south of the last one and is called the Still Sands, and it lies right next to some relic ruins. Once you go and complete that collection of contracts as well, you can go meet your final salvage contractor called the Raintress all the way at the southwest corner of the map, and that's when the quest will have you return over to the Barren Light contractor. You'll have a big old celebration, and then they will give you the Oseram Artificer armor. The skills it comes with are almost all beneficial to melee fighting and the energy charges on your spear, except for the Valor Surge Master perk, which increases the speed that you earn Valor. It still gives you a definite boost to ranged combat, it's just not the best armor specifically for ranged combat in the game. But it gives a few skills including +2 to your power attacks, which is where you hold R2, and then Resonator Buildup, which makes energizing your spear go faster, which you can also do by holding R2. Resonator Damage to increase the damage you deal when you energize an enemy, targets remain energized longer, and Resonator Blast will deal more damage, so almost all these skills deal with charging up your spear. If you're more into ranged combat, which is probably the most popular way to play Horizon Forbidden West, so you probably are, the Nora Thunder Warrior armor set is probably the best way to go because all of its skills give different buffs to ranged combat and its stats are all slightly built more towards ranged combat, making this the best armor set if you'd rather have some additional ranged and bow skills rather than the slight buff to melee the Oseram Artificer gave you. The Nora Thunder Warrior almost has the same exact stats and elemental strengths, except this legendary armor set gives you additional points towards ranged rather than melee. It also grants skills that highly benefit ranged combat, such as adding 2 levels with the Concentration Plus skill to increase the amount of time you can spend in concentration, which helps a ton with ranged combat, and if you have this skill from the Hunter skill tree, you should be able to stay in concentration for a pretty long time. Then you have Deep Concentration, which basically does the same thing, slowing down the use of concentration. It also generates faster, you'll increase weapon stamina faster so you can do more of your moves like the triple arrow. You deal more damage with the impact arrows while you're in stealth, so that kind of increases your stealth sniping with the LuKremBo, and then you deal more damage with heavy weapons, which is sort of an odd placement, but I guess heavy weapons generally are ranged weapons, so it kind of makes sense. You can also dye the Nora Thunder Warrior armor set pink, so that's also a plus. But anyways, you can purchase the Nora Thunder Warrior armor set from the Maw of the Arena location, as well as the 2 other armor sets we went over, and it'll cost the same amount as those, 54 arena medals. If you don't have the arena unlocked, just talk to the 2 characters outside of the arena gates again, and they'll give you the unlocking the arena quest where you just have to gather a couple of items for them. But that's pretty much it. You should now have all of the best armor sets hidden within Forbidden West. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more Horizon Forbidden West tips and guides. See ya.